This is the 2025 Buick Enclave, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to tell you why this SUV has raised the bar in its category. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're at Mike Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana. We're going to go over the particulars on this Moonstone Gray with ebony leatherette interior model of the Enclave. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. This is the preferred trim level, so I'll give you some of an idea of what you can expect to find if this is the trim level you want to buy. And you'll see the Buick Tri-Shield logo here. It's not the first model we've seen that on, but that is the latest logo for this brand, fully redesigned, or somewhat redesigned, I should say. But you can see what goes on when we hit the button to unlock everything. Lights come on. We're going to have the LED daytime running lights, the winged LED daytime running lights, and the LED headlights. Now they are projector beam headlights, high beams and low beams, but you know what? I think it gets the job done nicely. And a combination of chrome and some gloss black here on the front end. You will also find some matte black as well. I do think maybe that should have been down here on this area, but the chrome does work right there. Work our way up. Now you can go front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive with these models. This one has 20-inch wheels. You will find an 18-inch spare located within the confines of the rear cargo area. And we'll also see that we have turn signal indicators built into our heated, power-adjustable side view mirrors with your blind spot monitoring built in. And that's not all that these mirrors can do. I'm going to push this button right there in the middle. And here's what's happening when I do. You will also see that they are power folding side view mirrors. You will find passive entry, the button right here on the front door handles and the rear door handles. You can lock and unlock all four doors from either door on the driver's or passenger side. With your remote, very nice, sturdy, but it's compact at the same time. Lock, unlock, remote start, and you can open and close your power tailgate if you need the panic button. There that is. Now this model has the roof rails. It does not have a sunroof, but if it did, it would be a panoramic sunroof. Your rear roof spoiler is here. We'll let you see what happens with the taillights. Nice and bright back here. Hit the button right there to let those come on, give you an idea of what goes on. The thing that I really like here is that you have the continuous lighting all the way across, as you just saw right there. I don't have that turned on where it just stays on right now, but I'll give you one more look at it right there. You can see the animation that takes place. The Tri-Shield logo once again back here. You can see that this is the Enclave by the name right there. And I'd say we have a clean look back here with the rear. Your towing capacity, if you're curious, comes in at a maximum of 5,000 pounds. There is only one engine option as of 2025, and it's going to be the 2.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder. It makes 328 horsepower and 326 pounds-feet of torque. Should Buick have left a V6 in here? What do you think? I'd say yes. I think that would have been a good idea. What do you think about this four-cylinder engine? This model comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission. You will find a 19.4-gallon gas tank. You should be able to drive about 378 miles in the city on a single tank of gas and 441 miles out on the highway. Your cargo capacity ranges between 22.7 and 97.5 cubic feet. And you'll notice all those beeps you're hearing right there. I didn't touch anything. That is how your power tailgate works. If you have that feature on these models, you just walk up and it's going to sense that you're standing there and it's going to open automatically. You will have to make sure that the settings are turned on correctly in your infotainment screen in the front seat area right there. And if you happen to walk by here and it starts beeping and you don't want it to open, just keep walking. Don't walk slowly, don't stop, and you won't have to worry about that where that is concerned. And right here, you can see where the spare tire is located and how to gain access to that. It's going to be under this area. You will have to pull that out. Not a big deal. But the good thing is this does give you some extra storage space as far as your rear seating area goes, or your rear cargo area. And to maximize your cargo capacity, let's see if I can do this one-handed. First of all, we're going to put this seat down, and we'll put down the last of the seats here, and you can see how everything looks when your cargo capacity is maximized as far as this area goes. A lot of space back here, plenty of room. You'll also find a 12-volt power outlet. Let's talk about what your second and third row passengers are going to find. Plenty of room with the armrest right here. Seems to be pretty comfortable. You're going to have the large door bin right there. And something to help your third row passengers out is the fact that you can move these middle row seats back and forth. There's a release underneath the seats that allows that to be done. And then to gain access to the third row, we're going to reach right up there and do that. We're going to use that release on top of the seat. Now, let's jump back here and we'll take care of showing you what kind of space you can expect your passengers to find. It's actually not too bad back here. I've been in some three-row SUVs that were worse. A little bit tight on this side. Obviously, you're going to have more space over there on the passenger side. And we'll also have something that I know I always like, the air conditioning vents built into the roof. Also some lighting back here and a cup holder, some storage, and a USB port. And we'll have the same thing over here on the other side. I'll swing around so you can see that. On the rear of the center console, a couple of cup holders and the controls for the fan speed and the temperature for the third zone of climate control that is found back here in the back seating area. Also some connectivity. We'll also find the fold-down armrests here. I always look at these, put my arm on there, and wish that there was a little bit more space. I wish they came out to about right here. I'd be a little more comfortable, but just one of those things. If they went up as high as the seat back right here, I think that would be perfect. But there is a lot of room here. That's a good thing. So the second row passengers, definitely more space than the rear. And again, those air conditioning vents in the roof area, I like that because it's a lot closer to the passengers that way, just a little more convenient. The sticker price is $46,890. Let's see what else you get for that price beyond what I've already shown you. Plenty of room with the glove box, which is nothing out of the ordinary, and also the large door bin and armrest. That's a good thing and something that I know a lot of people will like. The driver and the passenger seats are power adjustable and both have lumbar support. And we have the floating center console. Plenty of room underneath for storage. A lot of additional space there. I like that Buick is taking advantage of the space that is available in that area. Real quick look here at the upper console. We'll find our sunglass holder right here and some of the other one-touch buttons here, depending on what you need to do. You've got OnStar there. All of your different features, even your hazard lights if you're looking for those. I know a lot of us are used to those being down in this area, but that's where that button is located. Now you won't find, at least on this model, seat memory, but that is an available option. You got the controls here for your side view mirrors, power windows here, all that lock and unlock, all that good stuff. There's your power parking brake. You can turn auto stop start on and off depending on what your preference is. Auto hold for your brakes. Come to a complete stop. The brakes don't disengage until you hit the gas pedal again. And your driving modes. What are the driving modes? Let's see what we've got going on where that is concerned. We have Tour mode, Sport, and Snow and Ice. And the steering wheel mounted controls, I like the overall design of the steering wheel here. I think Buick has done nicely with that, done a nice job with that and how they redesigned it. We also have the button right there for the heated steering wheel. I think you know what else is here. Everything for your adaptive cruise control. You even have shifter paddles for your transmission. And as I mentioned earlier, here's your screen. 30 inches worth of screen. Not too much, but not too little. I like that. A little bit of a driver focus here with it being curved a little bit, aimed at the driver. That's a good thing. And if you look at your driver's display and say, that's just not what I like having. Well, guess what? You can push this button right here, and that's going to allow you to bring up, well, you can bring up navigation. That way you know there is built-in navigation if you want to use that. And we also have another view. A couple of different views there, 3 different views. Very easy to deal with. Your shifter right here on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, and your controls over here, not only for your turn signal indicators, just keep your blinker fluid reservoir full under the hood. And then we also have our front and rear window wiper controls here. Easy to deal with, no big deal where that's concerned. Now this model doesn't have a head-up display, but if you're wondering, that is an available option. Depending on trim level, you can do a lot of different things with these Enclaves. Let's talk about our center screen. It is a very nice modern look. I like the way it looks. It's easy to deal with. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You even have ambient lighting. And there is a lot of it. Depending on what you want to do, you can go to Customize right here, and that lets you go in here and change to any of the multiple colors that are available. You can also change the brightness. If it's not bright enough for you, you can increase that brightness. Something that's nice, you may not expect with the Buick, but it is here. We're going to have our cameras. And something that's nice here, when you're driving down the road, these cameras will stay on. Any camera will stay on the whole time. Not that you need to be focused on the screen necessarily, but if you want to leave that on, you can. I've had a lot of people ask me about that in the past. You couldn't do that with the Enclave until 2025. But in case you're curious, there we go. Here are some of our different views, depending on what you want to see. As far as all of that goes, we can go over here to our second page and see what's going on. There's your maps, your phone, controls. We'll go in there real fast and show you what's going on where that's concerned, depending on what you need to do. You've got your park assist right there. You've got your dome light. Some interesting features here. Also the cameras, and you can go to your cameras from a few different places. Right there, you can do that. Also from the screen we were previously on. And when you go into reverse, you also have news, podcasts. Just depends on what you need to do. We're going to go back over here, and we're going to go into our settings. A lot of things to talk about here, but we're going to really focus more on vehicle, and that's going to be right up here because I want to answer a very common question a lot of people have, which has to do with safety features. So here's what we're going to have: forward collision avoidance, front pedestrian braking, intersection collision braking, adaptive cruise go notifier, side bicyclist alert, lane change alert. We'll also find park assist with braking, rear cross traffic alert, and rear pedestrian alert. Very easy to deal with, that's for sure. It just depends on what it is you need to do, what you need to find. It's all going to be here. It's very nice. While it looks complicated, that doesn't mean that it actually is. So now, headlights. Did you notice what I said? I pushed right here, selected right here. You can leave that on auto. You can turn them on, whatever you need to do with your lighting. We're going to go back to auto and just leave that on auto, the easiest way you could possibly deal with that. And we have heated seats. You can turn that on or off. You have 3 different stages. You can adjust your climate control. It isn't confined to the screen. You also have controls right here as far as being able to adjust fan speed, temperature. You can set it to auto. Your front and rear defrosters are going to be here. Easy to deal with. I like that. But it's nice and modern, but I'm glad we didn't lose all of the controls for the air conditioning, as we're seeing in some vehicles in this day and age. Here's the control for your volume for the radio, and then we have our wireless charging pad right here. A little bit of a piano black finish, so don't play the piano on that and fingerprint that up too much. Cup holders and plenty of room within the center console, especially when you remove that tray. You can see that there is a good bit of space in there. Okay, here we go on our test drive. And for those of you that are wondering, well, what about that 4-cylinder engine? Let's give it a little bit of a test. I'm not pushing hard at all, not only because this is not broken in by any means, but we're not going to try and get too far over the speed limit. But I tell you what, I had no trouble getting up to speed, just easing into the pedal, not even making it to quarter throttle. Now, what will it be like depending on how much weight you have in the vehicle and different driving situations? Hard to say because I don't have the time to get out into every situation and find out. Now, I am in sport mode, but I can tell you, even in your tour mode and your base mode, it's still going to get down the road with absolutely no problem whatsoever. You can deal with that. In fact, we'll go into tour mode right now and see how that goes for us. We're going to go down here and make a quick U-turn and see what happens. Now, the advantages here, you can have front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. For those of you that need all-wheel drive for those low traction situations, maybe you live somewhere where it snows a lot, well, not a big deal. Now, I am at full lock going right here, but you can see a nice tight turning radius, no problem whatsoever where that is concerned. That's always nice to know. So a vehicle that's pretty maneuverable for its size and very comfortable. The ride quality is good. The driver's seat is comfortable. Everything is adjustable, not only the driver's seat, but also the steering wheel. So depending on your height, you can set things up to where you're going to be comfortable no matter the situation. You have great visibility all around, but in addition to that, you have those great features for driving aids and safety as far as your blind spot monitoring and all of those other aids that I told you about earlier in the video when we were looking at the infotainment screen. A very enjoyable vehicle to drive, very comfortable. It's going to get down the road with no problems, plenty of space, and there's a lot of room left for customization, depending on what you may or may not want. If you wanted to order one on the Buick online configurator, you can do that and set things up however you want to. You can go with higher trim level features without being on a higher trim level and save a little money that way. But overall, I would say a very nice and enjoyable vehicle to drive. While the four-cylinder seems to do a good job of getting it down the road, yeah, I'm with a lot of you in saying, come on Buick, let's put a V6 under the hood, or at least make that an available option. And those are some of the features that have allowed the Buick Enclave to raise the bar as of the 2025 model year. And by no means is this model fully optioned out. Something that I didn't mention earlier in the video is the fact that Super Cruise is available across all trim levels. So even here on this trim level that we've looked at today, you can have Super Cruise. So nice to know that is available. Tell me what you think about the 2025 Buick Enclave. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC for loaning me this Enclave for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Please share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.